Hello, everyone, and welcome to Beauty Dharma. This is Leslie Kristen, and today I am with my beautiful friend, Paula Fallon. And we are going to, of course, talk about beauty, about the purpose of beauty, how we bring it into our lives. And you work with integrative health.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And so we're going to have a conversation about that because, as you can tell, Paula is, you're walking and talking integrative health. And I know you because you are just super healthy in so many areas. So
I try.
You do. You walk the talk.
I do.
You walk the talk, and I love it. So I want to start our exploration conversation here with, what does beauty mean to you?
That is such a great question. And I have to say that beauty is an attitude. It's a state of being. It's a state of mind. It's a way of looking at life. Mm-hmm. And that comes from inside. I am a firm believer that everything that happens to us in our lives, or I would like to say happens for us in our lives, it starts from inside. And that's where our beauty comes from. Mm-hmm. Our inner beauty comes pouring out, and that's what the world sees.
That's so true.
Yeah.
So I love that. I love how everybody has a different, they kind of tie in together.
Yeah.
But everyone has, a bit of their spin on
what it means to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we're all bio individuals, so.
We are. And of course, the conversation and the whole series of the Beauty Dharma Summit is really about having professionals, having experts in their own fields, and really enlightening us with that knowledge and really just sharing to really elevate the energy of the planet, of the life that we are having to go through right now.
Yes, we can use all the elevation we can get right now.
It is a challenging time right now. So if you're watching this maybe a year or two from now, hopefully I'm thinking that life is a lot better, because we're kind of in the middle of the COVID crisis right now.
Yes.
And a lot of challenging things. So,
but there's beauty in that as well.
There are.
And again, it goes back to the whole way you decide to look at things. We've all had to go through this big period of many realizations about ourselves, about our relationships, about our home environment, because we've been home a lot, right? And how that plays a big role in our lives. Mm-hmm. And so we've had all of these amazing realizations, and honestly, we would not have had these if it weren't for COVID and the situation that we're in.
Yeah.
So while it's been very challenging, it's been at times very sad, because we've had people who've been very sick and we've lost loved ones. Mm-hmm. And we certainly have a heart for everyone that's gone through that. At the same time, it has taught us things we couldn't learn any other way.
It's very true. And a lot of introspection.
Yes.
We've when you are in isolation, or you're having to just shift quite a few things, it can be very polarizing as well.
Yes.
I think a lot of people, that's why there's a lot of anger out in the world, but I think there's also a lot of enlightenment that's going on.
Absolutely.
And that's what's so beautiful. And that's why I'm just so passionate about, bringing these conversations out. And so, Paula, share with me, how did where did your passion start, and how did you get so knowledgeable about integrative nutrition?
Okay. My journey really began when I was pregnant with my first child 30 years ago. And I was really sick. And after she was born, I came to realize that I wasn't the one who was sick. She was the one who was sick.
Oh.
So certain foods that I was eating were really upsetting to her system. And it became really abundantly clear when she was about 4 months old and I started feeding her real food. It became abundantly clear to me that she had a very sensitive gut, and that in retrospect, I really was getting sick because she was getting sick. And that really started my journey on really diving deep into the world of nutrition and understanding it. And then really understanding that, you know, we're all bio individuals. One person's food is another person's poison. And so there is not a one size fits all remedy for anyone when it comes to your own beautiful body that you live in and how it reacts to everything around you, not only your food, but your environment, things that you might be exposed to that you're aware of or not aware of. There's some people can be exposed to mold and it doesn't bother them at all. Other people get deathly ill. So we're really, every single one of us is so unique. And so our approach to whatever we need to deal with, whether it's nutritionally or otherwise, has to be as unique as we are. And so along came my son 3.5 years later, my beautiful boy. And by the time he was 4, he was diagnosed with ADHD. And he was just a ball of energy, couldn't sit still long enough to eat, just a lot of behavioral issues. And I went to all of the specialists at that time in the field of ADHD. And I went to workshops and I studied different diets and different techniques. And the doctor said the words Ritalin. And I said, not for my baby boy, no. And so I then had to dig even deeper. And we had to look into behavior modification to help him adjust while we were adjusting food. And so it became this dance at our dinner table. I had to make sure that there was always something at the table, or several things at the table, that each person was able to eat, and it would make them feel wonderful. And they would be getting the nutritional value from the food that they needed to grow and become strong. But what my daughter could eat, my son couldn't necessarily eat.
Wow.
And what he could eat, she couldn't necessarily eat. For example, green grapes. I mean, if I gave my daughter green grapes, you might have thought someone drugged her. She was like bouncing off the walls, but it had no effect on my son.
Interesting.
So it's something that I've been passionate about, really passionate about for over 30 years. And then a few years back, I was having issues with my gums. They were really red and sore and I couldn't eat. They were so sore I couldn't eat. And I had been going to the dentist for about a year saying, hey, something's going on with my gums. What's up with that? We changed my toothbrush to everything on the market. We tried every toothpaste on the market. It just kept getting worse. So finally I went to a specialist and I was diagnosed with oral lichen planus, which is an autoimmune disorder. And he said to me, there is no Western medical cure. The reason there's not a Western medical cure, I have since discovered, is because our medical Western system is a system of addressing the pain points and giving us medication for that or surgery for that or whatever, but they don't address the cause. Why is this happening? And so I realized that I had to really start digging deep once again on a nutritional front and figure out how I could heal myself, because food is medicine and medicine is food. And I think of it this way, you know, we all love our environment, right? We're concerned about global warming. We're concerned about pollutants in our water. We're concerned about what's happening over the course of years and how it's altering the whole environment, the whole ecosystem, right? Well, our bodies are an ecosystem too, right? And this is the most important ecosystem because this is what gets us around in life, right?
Yeah, it's our vehicle.
Carries our soul and our spirit, right? And so when you look at it in terms of this is our ecosystem, and our ecosystem was not designed to have chemicals put into it. That's not the way our bodies were designed by our divine power above, right? Our bodies were designed to eat things that were growing in nature or are roaming on the earth naturally. And so when you put things into your body that your body cannot absorb, cannot process, it will make you sick. And every autoimmune disorder out there can be affected by what you're eating. And you know, I could go on about this forever. Believe me, I could go on about this forever because there's just so much to know about it and so much to learn. But through the process, I've come to realize what my body does not like, and through the process of elimination, have been able to push the autoimmune disorder almost completely into remission. I'm still on my journey because it takes a while to really understand what works and what doesn't work, right? It's not a magic bullet. There is no magic bullet. You know, you just have to start having a level of awareness about your body and about yourself. And you have to start asking the challenging questions and walking yourself through the journey with love and kindness and compassion. And when you're able to do that and to really just be honest and not really be non-judgmental towards yourself, you know, just take it as a curiosity kind of thing. Hey, this is really interesting. This is really curious. Why is it that when I have a cup of coffee, you know, my stomach hurts an hour later, you know? And then just realizing that, you know, to be in the most beautiful state in life that you can possibly be in, you want to have good health, right?
Well, you have to have good health in order to have a beautiful life.
You do.
I mean, it's just so evident when you don't feel good, you're angry, you know, you're mean, you're more, you're sour, it's everything. It just, and
you can't have a beautiful life when you're in that state of mind.
It does not matter how you paint your face or what kind of clothes you wear. If you don't have, or how much money you have, if you don't have good health, the quality of life is poor.
I mean, Steve Jobs, you know, when he was dying, said, you know, he wasted his life, devoted his whole life to his career. And he realized in the end that he really had nothing because he didn't take the time to take care of his health and develop his relationships and have that downtime that we all need so much. So, So, and it's not just your physical health. It's really, so we talk about integrative nutrition, and when we're talking about that, what I mean when I say integrative nutrition is we're talking about all the things in life that are key to nurturing a beautiful life for yourself. And so number one is relationships, right? Our relationships bring us joy and love and laughter and contentment and security and peace and a sense of belonging and a sense of purpose and knowing where we belong and fit in the world, right? It's the most important thing to us, but oftentimes we lose balance with life being crazy like it is and our careers and all of our obligations. And so, you know, those things nurture us and nurture the beauty that we feel about life. And so if we get that out of balance, it can knock some other things out of balance. They're all tied together. Our relationships, our health that we talked about, our spiritual walk, whether, you know, you feel connected to the world by being out in nature, taking walks or kayaking or surfing. And I say all this because I live in Florida at the beach.
Or by the pool. Or gardening.
Yes. I mean, or anything. There's a whole list, you know, you guys, you can tell us.
Taking a nap.
Reading a good book by a fireplace, you know. Well, that's not out in nature unless the fire's outside.
Well, I was going to say.
But you know, having that connection to your spiritual side, whether, you know, it's, well, first of all, I think it's really super important to be out in nature because, you know, we're born to be in nature, and there's a lot that we get out of being in nature. Just standing on the grass without your shoes on for 5 minutes a day, you feel the vibrations from the earth, and that energy comes into your body, and it's really positive. But it's, you know, maybe meditating, maybe it's, you know, reading the Bible. I mean, it's different for everybody. And you could have a family of 5, and it's going to be different for every member of the family, because we're bio individuals, right? And then it's taking a look at your purpose in life. You know, I truly believe that we are all here for a purpose, and each one of us has our own special gifts and our own special purpose in life of how we're to be using our gifts to give to the world. Because when we give, we receive. And the more we give, the more we receive.
That's right. That is the word dharma, purpose.
Yes.
Right there.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly why. And it can change. Our purpose can change as we, you know,
as we
go
grow
through life.
Absolutely.
Which is
everything shifts as we go through the different phases in life. All of the main things that feed us are going to shift. And when we go into it with the attitude of that, we understand that's part of the journey. And each time we have a shift, we're growing to the next level, right?
Yes.
And so that really, when we know it, it's kind of, I like to call it stacking, right? We're stacking this knowledge that we have now. Now we're transitioning into, we're shifting into the next phase of our life. And now we're stacking that on top. And it's with everything. We just keep stacking it and stacking it. And the beauty can get bigger and brighter and deeper if we're looking at it in that way.
Wow. So Paula, with that said, what I would love to find out is, what are some of the things that our viewers could do right away?
I think the most important thing is really going up in front of your mirror. This is what I want you to do. I want you to go stand in front of your mirror, and I want you to look at the beauty that is reflecting back to you, the beauty that is you. And I want you to realize, and this is really important for women, because I think women have a tendency to give, and they forget to give to themselves, right?
Yeah.
We forget to do that. So I want you to look in that mirror, and I want you to say, I need to put myself first. I need to take care of myself first. We don't need to feel guilty about it. We don't need to feel shamed about it. We need to realize that in order for us to really, truly give our gifts to the world and give to others on the highest level, our first obligation is to give to ourselves, to care for ourselves, to make sure that we have all of the things that are nurturing us in our lives in balance, and to understand that if something's out of balance, we need to pay a little attention to that and bring that back into balance, because that's what's really going to bring us true joy, true happiness. And through that joy and happiness, we're going to have a beautiful life.
Absolutely. Wow. I love this. So I know you have a gift for our viewers.
Yes.
So share with them, what can they do?
Okay. So I would love to talk with you. If you're in a place where you feel like maybe life's a little bit out of balance, maybe, you know, you want to make some shifts, but you're just not really sure how to do that. I would love to be the guide by your side. I tell my clients, I'm the guide by your side for the wild ride. And together we explore, right? And so what I would like to offer to you is, if you feel that this is where you are in your life, if you feel like you want to explore and dig a little deeper in areas of your life and you're just not sure where to start, well, I'd love to have a conversation with you around that. So I am offering a 50-minute integrative nutrition session with me. And I believe we will put my calendar link in the
email.
in the email.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
So that you can
They can reach out to you.
Yeah, you can go right onto my calendar and schedule a time. And then once we have our conversation, I'm also going to offer my booklet or my little pamphlet, 7 Steps to Trusting Your Intuition. I feel like it's really, really important that, you know, intuition is a gift that we're given at birth. Think about it.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
If we need to eat something and we're little babies and we can't talk, right? We know if we cry, someone's going to come get us and help us, right? And from the time we are born until the time we're able to communicate effectively with others, we intuitively know how to get what we need from other people. Yeah. We are given this gift of intuition, but as we grow through life, we tend to lose sight of it. We start to listen to everything around us. We start listening to everyone around us. And we start to doubt our thoughts and our ability to make decisions intuitively. And that gift of intuition is there to protect us and to guide us in our life. And that intuition is unique to us because we are unique beings. So it really is the guiding light for your life. And a lot of people lose sight of that. So this is going to be 7 steps that you can take to get, if you feel like you're not in touch with your intuition, you can get back in touch with your intuition, or you can take it to the next level.
I was just going to say, I want to crank up that intuition.
Yes. Me too. And I'll tell you, once you really get cranking and you really are tuned into your intuition, it's amazing what will happen in your life.
And you know what? I was thinking about that today, where just as, you know, just thinking, okay, because I needed to find a particular, you know, place to take my car. But I wanted it to be on my way out of town.
Yeah.
And when you allow that, you're going to find that something comes to you. And I don't know why we fight this all the time.
Well, because we listen to all of the outside noise.
Yes.
You know, we live in a world where we're inundated with messages. We can't process all the messages that we receive every day. Our mind is not capable of it.
Especially with technology and all the
absolutely
all the energy we're bombarded with and everything else. So it's just, you know, the highway from hell.
But if you think about it, listen, like if you're walking down a dark street, right, and you decide you're going to walk down this alley because it's a shortcut, and then all of a sudden you reach the alley and you feel like maybe there's someone there, and all of a sudden your body reacts physiologically and you feel scared. And so what do? You don't go down the alley, right? You walk on the other side of the street and you go a different way, right? That's your intuition protecting you. Yeah. And so if we just tune into it on a higher level, we'll realize that sometimes all we have to do is sit quietly and ask the question and wait for the answer.
I love it.
So, yeah.
There we go. That's the perfect ending to this session.
And I'll tell you, and it makes for a beautiful life. It really does.
It sure does. Thank you, Paula. This was a beautiful session. I love it. I hope you've enjoyed this session of Beauty Dharma. I mean, it from what we put into our bodies to our intuition, this is just a very rich conversation. So reach out to Paula, have a chat with her. You want her to be your friend anyways. I mean, this is what it's all about, is sharing friends around the world.
Yeah, let's just chat. Come on, let's have a conversation.
That's it. And so we all gain knowledge from each other. So I look forward to seeing you on the next Beauty Dharma session, and, you know, live life beautifully and with purpose. Bye.